is Real Talk, the Customer Insights Show with Jen Vogel. Join Jen and her guests for this live discussion around topics that will help you understand your customers better. Also available on podcast channels. This live stream is presented to you by Voxpopme, the leader in video research. Here's today's live conversation.
Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. This year, as part of a special episode of Real Talk, we wanted to share dozens of love letters that consumers wrote to their favorite brands. They took the time to record them through our Voxpopme platform. We certainly all have favorite brands, and why not send them some love on this Valentine's Day?
Rothy's. We began in the spring of 2019 with a standoffish relationship. I couldn't decide if I wanted to commit to such a pricey experience. After several months of going back and forth, you made me an offer to try a pair, and I took the plunge. The chosen style, environmental forward footprint, and quality have kept the relationship going. Others comment on the trend patterns and comfort, and the relationship has grown. I hope our relationship continues.
So here goes. So here's my letter. I love Kate Spade. We met in 2010 at Katy Mills Mall in Katy, Texas, while shopping for a purse. Your brand is the best, and you are truly missed. My next visit was with my daughter and daughter-in-law. Amazing deals and gifts found by all. We miss you, Kate Spade. We're glad your products are still around, and you made an amazing product, and your legacy will live on forever.
Dear Apple, I remember when we met back in 2007. You transformed my tech experience like moving from earth to heaven. The moment I started to use your products, I realized how much I've wasted not knowing you got it. When my family heard of you at first, they were skeptical until your reliability took them to a different universe.
Dear Jordan Brand, Dear Jordan Brand, you are my light and shining armor. You have done everything you needed me to do. I am eternally grateful for what you have done for me. Jordan Brand, your brand has come and gone on numerous occasions, and I believe that it's time that you finally got the respect that you deserve. You have influenced me, my friends, my family, and everyone that has bought the Jordan brand, and it really shows how much we care about you. I love the brand so much. I have so many of your shoes, and I just want to say thank you so much for what you have done for my community, for me, and for my family. Thank you, Jordan Brand, for being the best.
So, I met the brand about 3 years ago, and I met them through a friend. We ended up going to the store. They're like, hey man, we got some hoodies, some of these, some of those. I was like, hey man, what that hoodie over there talking about? They said, oh yeah, that's Nike, bro. I said, Nike? Let me see that. And it was like love at first sight. And ever since then, I've been rocking Nike hoodies. And I could tell I knew I would love the brand based off of what they were selling, what they had going on, man. The designs, the comfort, the cloth, man. It was top tier, man. And how I introduced the brand to my friends and family is simple. All I do is I tell them, hey man, if you ever want to feel like a champion, if you ever want to feel like you up top, you up next, and you want to have a brand to represent that, choose.
Dear Fitbit, I met you about 2 years ago at Christmas time. You were the best unexpected gift I could have ever asked for, and I knew I loved you because I felt like I had a support system in my life that I had been missing for a long time to help me reach my fitness goals. My family introduced us, but honestly, you already knew most of my friends and family, and it'd take me a long time to want to meet you. I did introduce you to my fiance, and you have become a motivation for him as well to track and meet his fitness goals too. You have brought us even closer in trying to help each other meet our fitness goals by giving us a little bit of a competitive nature and being each other's support system even more. I love you so much, Fitbit, for helping me and my fiance keep track of our health, especially during 2020 and staying at home more. Happy Valentine's Day. Love, Kennedy.
So this is a love letter to my favorite brand, Juul, Juul, the makers of the e-cigarette devices. I first met Juul in 2018. It was introduced to me by a friend who used to be a smoker, and he basically told me that Juul had entirely replaced cigarettes for him, so I gave it a shot, and I definitely, found that one puff or one draw from the Juul device was the equivalent of an entire cigarette as far as the amount of nicotine that you are, taking in. So that's when I knew I loved the brand, after trying it for the very first time. And this isn't exactly something I introduced to my friends and family because they're not really smokers, but they've definitely benefited from it because I don't smoke cigarettes around them anymore, and I don't smell like cigarettes anymore. So those are all definitely pluses that my friends and family love about it. So that's my love letter to my favorite brand, Juul.
Dear Brooks Brothers, what I have loved about your wonderful clothes is the confidence that it brings to me. Your style is timeless, and the classic look makes me proud to wear all of those clothes. I remember the first time that we met, and it was actually back in 2014 when I was looking for work clothes, and I was so disappointed with the work clothes that I had in the past. I'm so glad that you were able to put a bit of a smile on my face when I got to wear the clothes. I knew I loved the brand because I was able to look back at the things that I was wearing, and I felt the confidence that I was with and had wearing those clothing. And that was really great of you to give me the confidence, especially in the business world, to show up in a meeting with confidence with the clothing that you had. And one thing that I would do to introduce you to anyone else is just wear the clothes. It ends up being a great advertisement to people see.
Dear Victoria's Secret, I met you when I was around 16. I'll be 35 on the 20th. How I met you, you were big. You were a big brand, and you're still a big brand. One of my close friends used to work there. How did I know I love their brand? I like their style. Their brand was it was amazing. Everything about Victoria's Secret is amazing, from the perfume down, lip gloss and everything. How would I introduce to the brand to my family and friends? I would tell them, go to Victoria's Secret. Here's a discount card. Get your stuff because they're worth it. Go spend your money in that store. Victoria's Secret is...
Well, this is to one of my favorite brands, Pond's. We met, like 15 or 16. I was looking for a cleanser in the store, and I didn't know what I wanted, but I found Pond's, like the cold cream cleanser, and I looked up reviews on YouTube about it, and they were pretty good. So I went to the store and I tried it out, and I went to the store and I bought it and I tried it out, and it was really good. Like, it made my face soft and glowy, and I told my family about it, about how much I loved it, because I showed them how my face looked after I used it. So it was really good, and I really love this brand.
Dear American Eagle, I just wanted to write this letter to appreciate my love for you guys. We met on a commercial, surprisingly, and through family members. I would always consider brand, but I had never tried it. It wasn't until 5 years ago that I started buying your clothing, and I just want to say I absolutely love it. I knew I loved the brand when I saw how quality the products were and how quality the price was also. It's a very budget option, but it gives more quality than most high brands out there. And I just wanted to say thank you.
Dear Versace, when we met 8 years ago at Millennium Mall on a shopping trip with my mom, I knew just then and there that I loved you. Everything about you was so delicate, so beautiful. I just knew that I had to have you. I knew I had to own you. I knew you had to be mine. Everyone agrees that you make me happy. We make each other happy. I look good in you, and you look good with me. My mother and all my family love you. They themselves want to be with someone like you. They want to be with you.
Dearest Velveeta, we first met more than 20 years ago when I was a young teenager. And I knew as soon as I met you, I was in love with you. From the very first bite of that wonderful, cheesy chili dip that I made with you, with friends. And then I turned around and introduced you to my family because you're so yummy and delicious. And I just can't get enough of you.
Hi, this is my letter to Nike. It says, Dear Nike, I really love you. I love your shoes. They are so comfy and affordable. We met back in high school and I have loved you ever since. My friend introduced us and we were inseparable. I knew I loved you when I was looking for a nice bra and found the perfect affordable one for running. I showed my husband your shoes the night we met and he loved it. Thank you for everything. I love you. Thank you, Nike.
Oakley, oh Oakley, where art thou, Oakley? First time I remember seeing you, it was love at first sight. My mom had bought my dad a brand new pair of Oakley sunglasses. And from then on, I knew I had to have my own pair. I told my mom and everybody I was going to get my first pair of Oakleys soon and wound up getting the Romeos. Not too long after I had them, I lost them at the pool. Don't know what happened to them, but I wound up getting another pair called the Juliets. I showed them off to my friends and family like it was a trophy. I love them, and I have always loved them, and will love them forever.
Okay, me writing a letter to my favorite brand for Valentine's Day, I would say, I first met the brand, I would say CoverGirl, when I was in middle school. I always used their powder and their makeup when I was younger. I really like the brand because I feel like they do really well with makeup. They do really well with their coverage and all that. How I knew and loved the brand when I first tried it, I really liked it. I got first introduced the brand, I guess, to my mom because she used it all the time and all that. But I really love the brand and I really keep trying them out because they always have different kind of makeup and colors and all that. So I would say CoverGirl would be my favorite brand for Valentine's Day, really.
Okay, so dear Kat Von D, happy Valentine's Day. I met you a few years ago when I walked into Sephora and saw you sitting upon the shelf, all your glorious lipsticks and all of your wonderful foundations. I knew I loved you whenever I put you on as a lipstick for the first time, and you were the most beautiful shade that I have ever worn. I introduced you to my family when I wore you often to family events, such as family gatherings and birthday parties and Christmas parties. And when I went out at the evening to bars and such. I love you and happy Valentine's Day. I'm so glad
So I met Michael Kors back when I was in high school, end of high school, beginning of college. And I knew I loved the brand immediately just by seeing the clothes, seeing different ads. Just from the moment I saw them, I knew these were for me. And I was introduced to it by walking into a TJ Maxx and a Marshalls, and I really was just enamored with it. Everything from the collection looks amazing all the time, whether it's the handbags, the belts, the clothing itself, the jackets, and I mean, it looks fabulous on. You always feel really confident when you wear Michael Kors.
I would write a love letter to Amazon. We met over 10 years ago. Someone introduced me, and I have been buying from you more and more every year. I love that I get free shipping. There's so many variety of items that I can't get anywhere else. and they can always be shipped to me, no matter where I'm at in the world. I travel a lot, so I can get it picked up anywhere, so they're very customer focused. And I introduced you to a whole bunch of people on social media, people I meet in person. You're just the best in my life.
Dear Sketcher, I knew you were the one when you made such cute, comfortable, walking, athletic shoes. Now you're making shoes that are also sustainable and attractive in your Tom's brand. I've shared it with my family and friends by wearing them and buying them. Thank you so much. We met probably, 15 years ago, and your products have just gotten better. I love you.
Dear Dove Chocolate, I am writing this letter to you to let you know how much I love your chocolate. Growing up, my mother loved your dark chocolate hearts, and she gave me my first piece of Dove chocolate at the age of 5, and I instantly fell in love. Your chocolate is rich, creamy, and decadent, and comes in many different flavors. Dark chocolate, white chocolate, milk chocolate, and my favorite, caramel-filled Dove chocolate hearts. Ever since having kids, when I introduce them to your chocolate, they absolutely love it. But what family or what kid wouldn't love chocolate? You're there when I need you for Valentine's Day or whenever I'm feeling down and lonely and just need to eat my feelings. So I always go to Dove Chocolate. Thank you very much for delivering the decadent chocolate to me and my family. Keep up the great work.
Dear Way, I know that you are primarily shampoo, but you've also branched out into hand soap and hand lotion and hairstyling products. I really love you because you make my hair look great. I met you about 2 years ago at Sephora, and I knew that I would love you because your products smell great and they work really good on my hair. And because I've been so happy, I've introduced you to several of my friends as well as my sister.
To the love of my life, Realtree. You and I met about 10 years ago, and it was love at first sight. The first time I saw you, your beauty was unforgettable. I knew I loved you already because of your pink hues with camo and mossy oak patterns. I was confident that my family would love you too. And when I introduced you to them on a hunting trip in the mountains, they fell in love with you too. Ever since then, we've been inseparable.
Dear Hershey's, I met you in 2008 at the store with Mama 3. Ever since I laid eyes on you, I loved you so much. I loved you because I knew that you were the one. You had many different flavors. You had peanut butter, you had peanuts, you even had almond. I introduced you to my family and friends because we were both at the store, and my mom saw you too, and she fell in love with you too. I'm so glad I got to meet you.
So writing a love letter to my favorite brand would be Lululemon, and we met 2 years ago, and I knew that I loved the brand because they have like the best athletic quality products, and they last, and if they don't last, they will refund you or give you the new product. And I introduced Lululemon to almost all of my friends and loved them exclusively.
Louis Vuitton. I remember being 6 years old and running to the Christmas tree to get my gifts. To my delight, I found you sitting there, all brown and gold and leather and just perfect. You were so pretty and strong. I knew right then that I loved you. When I grew older and went to high school, people would compliment me whenever I was with you, and I would tell them that you were my favorite, and if they would only try you, you could be theirs too. Love always, Kirita.
Dear Peloton, we met many years ago due to my love of fitness and especially spin. I had moved to a new home, and unfortunately my long-term gym where I loved doing spin classes from was not convenient to me any longer, and so I had to find another solution. Luckily, I had learned about Peloton and had a few exposure with it at some hotels, and decided to purchase one and get involved in the community. It was after that and my rides and my enjoyment that I really fell in love with the brand, the consistency, the enjoyment, the way I felt, every time I used it. It really showcased to me what the brand is. And once I fell in love with that, it was really hard for me not to introduce it to friends, family, everybody. I am quite the Peloton salesman.
When I first met PlayStation, it was during the winter time in 2002. I knew I loved PlayStation when I played. The first time I was hooked. I showed off PlayStation to all my friends and family in the home, and they got to know PlayStation a lot better. And they also were able to meet PlayStation as well and play games with PlayStation. I think that was it.
Dear Johnson & Johnson, I am writing you a love letter because I thank you so much for taking care of me and my body. I was first introduced to you when I was a little baby, when my mother used to put baby powder on my body to keep me from chafing. She also used the Johnson's Baby Shampoo for my hair, as well as the lotion to keep my body moist. And I've always recommended you to my friends because you've taken care of me so well over the course of the years. So Johnson & Johnson, thank you for loving me.
Hey there. So I have my Valentine's Day letter right here, and it's going to my favorite brand, and it goes as follows. Happy Valentine's Day, dear. Space. Dear Victoria's Secret, I am writing a love letter to you for Valentine's Day. This is our special day. We met years ago, and we were both teenagers. My older sister is actually the one that introduced us. It was love at first sight. We instantly clicked. I knew we were meant to be, and you felt the same exact way. We have the same likes, the same wants. And when I introduced you to my family, they instantly fell in love with you as well. You're always there for me when I need you. You offer me quality, and we're never, ever going to part. Happy Valentine's Day. Love always. Your Valentine.
We met when I was a child, and my parents took me into the wonderful store that was See's Candy. I knew I was in love honestly the first moment that I tasted, and I could smell the wonderful chocolatey smell of See's Candy. And I like to introduce them to my friends by giving them a sample of what there is to love there, and a variety of what there is to love, and give it to them freely without having any reservations. And I try to explain to them how there's something for everyone at See's to love.
Dearest Crumble Cookies, we met a summer evening after the kids finally went to sleep. It was a rough day, and you were what I needed, and my husband knew it. You were delivered to my door, and my life would never be the same. It was always so easy, and is easy with you. Phone call or a click on an app away. It was love at first bite. 4 cookies, some warm and some chilled, and eases all my worries away. I knew I had to share your goodness with others. Birthdays, anniversaries, sometimes just because. A sweet box delivered to those.
Dear Apple iPhone. First my then fiance had you. Well, actually my friends had you, then my fiance, and I got jealous. And I wanted an iPhone too, so I got one. And I got the 3, I think it was the first one. And I loved you ever since. We're going on our our 10th anniversary, maybe longer, 11, who's counting? Time went so fast with you helping me, and I love and I appreciate you for it. Be healthy and be happy this Valentine's Day, and keep me safe out there in internet land. Thank you, iPhone. Love you.
I remember when we first met, our first correspondence, the sending and receiving of DVDs in the mail. If there was an issue, you apologized and resolved it. You've been prompt and courteous, and I love that. I remember introducing you to family to great reception.
Dear Fashion Nova, I'm so glad we met. You have helped me out when I was feeling down in the dumps and didn't think I looked cute. And all I had to do was purchase something and it made me cute. I've gotten compliments on my jumpsuits, the green ones of course, and that black one that lifts up my ladies. Oh yes, you know what I'm talking about. I knew I loved the brand when I opened up that app, could filter by size, color, and have it delivered within a couple of days. Woo, you are telling me I don't know what I would do. When I feel down in the dumps, I open up my Fashion Nova app and I go ahead and I look at my favorites that I've saved throughout my time and I buy myself a little something cute. And it's in the mail like that. In a couple of days, I look good for everybody, including myself.
Okay, my favorite brand is Bose. They are the ones I truly love with all my heart. Here's my letter. Dear Bose, from the moment I walked into your store and heard your beautiful sound, I knew I was in love. From that moment on, I introduced you to my family and my friends, and they loved you as much as I did. It was true love. I will always love you. Forever yours, Love, Susan.
Dear Doritos Tapatio chips, one day my cousin was eating Tapatio hot sauce, but with tortilla chips. It was too hot for me at first, but I kept eating because it was so good. Then and there, I knew it was love. Later, I discovered your Doritos Tapatio, and ever since, it's basically the only chips I eat. And upon sharing your yumminess, my family agrees. It's the perfect blend of hot and flavor.
Here is my Valentine's Day letter to Bose, and it reads, Dear Bose, thank you for consistently providing quality sound for me to enjoy watching TV or listening to music. Since my father introduced us in 1997, my earbuds have forever been changed for the better. Your Valentine, Melissa.
Dear Lady Gang, I met you about probably almost 4 years ago now. Wow. I knew I loved you because you created a community and a group and inclusive clothing, and you are just very relatable. I started showing you to my friends and family by sharing the podcast, sharing your book, sharing your clothing line. I had learned about you from a friend, and it was one of the greatest things that they shared with me. So now I love listening and supporting and finding new friends in the community.
About 6 years ago, I met the designer, love of my life. I first met him while shopping at Michael Kors outlet in my city. I looked at his handbags and they looked back at me. And it was love at first sight. I just had to have him for myself and introduce my new love to my family and friends, who also became infatuated with his great look. I hope this helps. Thank you.
I met Lululemon through social media. And the first item that I bought from them was a pair of leggings, and I immediately fell in love with the quality, the feel, and the versatility of them. They were so soft on the inside, but yet the outside was so sturdy and flexible. I introduced this brand to my friends and family because I just thought their products were so worth it. I had them buy their own items from Lululemon. I now own a backpack, a few tops, as well as a couple pairs of leggings from Lululemon, and I fall in love with it every single day.
A love letter that I have wrote to a brand that I love and like for this Valentine's Day is Dove. So it goes like, this is this Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day. Roses are red, violets are blue. But if doves are white, that means heaven must be too. The first day we met, I was just a young chick. But today is Valentine's Day, so me and you should be happy as hicks. It's a little cute, something quick, and I would give it to my family because Dove makes me happy. And it's, Dove.
My letter is to the Eucerin brand. Thank you, Eucerin, for making my life easier in the wintertime. Eucerin and I met, I must have been about 4 or 5 years old, so it's been about 30 years. And every winter without fail, the dry northern winter makes my skin so itchy and uncomfortable. And everything you produce is produced with the intention of making people more comfortable in their own skin. Thank you for that.
My dear Coke, you are the love of my life. You lift me up with your many flavors and crisp, bubbly sensations. You have been in my life since I was a kid, and I want to grow old together with you. When I'm tired, you rejuvenate me by quenching my thirst on a hot summer day or after exercising, and my temperature is hot. You cool me down. My entire family loves you, and you fit in well with us. Never change your flavors, and always be my love. On this Valentine's Day, I want to toast you and cherish you as my love of my life and always be with you. God bless.
Dear American Fishing Tackle Company, or AFCO, we met 8 years ago in Clearwater, Florida. I was there on a meeting and met the owner, Mr. Bill Shedd, and fell in love with the brand then, period. The brand has been wonderful to me in my fishing expeditions, inshore and offshore. I have taken the brand and purchased it for my friends and my family. My wife loves the warmth of their pullovers and the dryness of their rain jackets, as do my kids. Love me.
Probably give it to Barefoot Wine, simply because I met it when my mom kind of gave it to me for my birthday. I would say I really like it. It's always been just one of my favorite brands of wine to drink as well. So it's something that I just really cherish and love to drink to.
Stonemeyer Board Games. You make wonderful, wonderful board games that are beautiful and super fun to play and have a ton of replay value. I first met you at a friend's house. They introduced us and was just a big, big, big fan. And I knew I loved the brand when the game was so highly addictive. I wanted to keep playing it, and definitely introduced you to a lot of my friends, and they keep playing it. So such a great brand.
My favorite brand is Nike. We met in, I guess, middle school. I was shopping online for Nike. I knew this brand through similar affiliates such as Adidas, and I was introduced from my friends who wore them all the time.
My dearest Tillamook cheese, I remember when we met. I wasn't very old, and we went to your factory. I was with my parents, and it was like love at first sight. And then I tasted you, and the rest is history. And as I brought you back with me, and I showed you to my friends and my family and presented you as the best thing ever, they too agreed. Love you, Tillamook cheese. Love you.
This is a love letter to Gymshark, the brand, and when I first met was in my college years and my sophomore year, so my second year. And how I knew I loved the brand was that they started showcasing lots of different influencers wearing the brand, and I fell in love with weightlifting at that time. And also on college campuses, I feel like it's more prominent, that brand, because many people wear it, and when they see that other people look really good in it, they want to buy it. And so my partner at the time introduced me to the brand, and I fell in love with it because of the quality of clothing. And I also introduced the brand to other friends. Whenever they had specials or deals, I would let them know, and they were able to snag some, and they were really high quality, and they also fell in love with it as well.
Dear Ben and Jerry's, happy Valentine's Day. Since we met when I was young, you've always had a special place in my heart. I knew I loved you when I first tried your Bailey's Mudslide ice cream, and it was unlike anything that I ever had before. I love you, Ben and Jerry's, and I hope that we have many more Valentine's Days together. I share you with my husband and my friends and family, talking about your delicious flavors, and I can't wait to try what you come up with next. I also appreciate all the work that you're doing to support social justice and not backing down just because it's no longer on trend. Happy Valentine's Day, and here's to many more.
Dear Reebok, please be my Valentine. We first met in 2011. A mutual friend, female I was dating, she bought me a pair of size 14, and I was skeptical, but you fit so perfectly, and when running, you felt so good. It was the Reebok Zig Tech, perfect for running. From there, I bought the weightlifting shoes, and since then been buying Reeboks for any athletic activities that I do. Even at this moment, I sport wearing the Flash Film, which are so comfortable. And I tend to buy these shoes for all friends and family members who will also attend the gym. For you guys to make very comfortable shoes. I appreciate you, and I thank you.
Dear Hallmark, I don't remember exactly how or when we met, but I do know from the day we met, I knew you were the one for me. Your family-friendly programming is a rarity. I even have my husband hooked, which is a miracle. My teenage grandson will watch with me as well. You have brought such joy to me and such pleasure you've added to my life. I will love you forever. Love me.
My dearest Nissan, we met on a warm day in the summer of 2019. I had recently left a long-term relationship of 10 years with Chevy. I didn't want to leave, but the relationship had ran its course, and I was forced to move on. I was looking for something bigger than, and something that lifted me higher off of the ground. I also wanted something more modern, something younger. Along came the Nissan Rogue with your heated seats and backup camera, and you were large enough to haul my daughter's college belongings in one trip. I remember introducing you to my family via video. Took some pictures, I also took some video, sent it off to my parents.
Dear hippies, when I first saw you at Costco on the shelf, I knew I had to have you. And I knew that I really loved you when I found out that you were a plant-based protein, you were non-GMO, you were gluten-free, and USDA organic. And also kosher, vegan, no soy, and no nuts. And I couldn't wait to bring you home and have my husband try you as well. He also fell in love. We really love your cheese puffs. They are vegan white cheddar. We love them so very much.
Dear Whole30, I met you 6 years ago when I was still learning about my intolerances and my relationship with food was evolving. I fell in love with Whole30 when I achieved everything they promised in their program, and the community support made me feel super loved and the brand continues to grow in a direction that excites me. I introduced the brand Whole30 to my friends and family, and several of them have also completed Whole30s, and we talk about it often as how it's improved our lives.
So if I talk about when and how I met with the brand in 2012 when I came to US, and I need to shop, so I went there. It's Abercrombie and Fitch, and I love this brand because of the quality of the product. The cloth is very, very nice and very cozy. And after wearing it so long, I saw that it's the same as new as the first day I purchased it. So I definitely told my friends about the Abercrombie and Fitch company, and I told them this is the shirt which I bought 2 years back, and it's still the same. So you can understand that the quality of the product is so good that after so many washing, it's the same. So I really love Abercrombie and Fitch. Thank you.
My favorite brand is Nike. So we met when I was in college, and we met on a treadmill, running for 5-6 miles daily until we fell in love. And that's how I learned to just do it and run without asking too many questions. I started buying the same brand for my friends and family, and talking to my friends about it and my family about it, so everybody could enjoy, and that would be wonderful.
Dear Impressed Nails, I met you on an Instagram story. I fell in love when I realized how cheap you were compared to regular manicures, but were just as durable and long-lasting. And I can change it up quite frequently. Every time I would put on a new pair and someone would notice my nails, I would almost pitch you to them to invest in you as well, because you were so great.
Hey Nike, this is my love letter to you. I met Nike ever since I was, as long as I can remember, the Nike brand has always been there for me. Whether I was young wearing a Nike little jumper, I always felt very warm in Nike's presence, and it was a brand that has always been around. All my family members used to wear Nike, they still do, and it's just always been around. That's how I met Nike. I knew I loved Nike after I got my first orange, premium, soft, biodegradable hoodie. I knew I loved it because there was something about it that made me very emotionally attached, and the brand was great. It was quite the contrary. My friends and family actually introduced Nike to me, and I believe that it was a great decision because Nike is a reputable, honest brand that puts out amazing premium feeling clothing and has expanded their reach beyond the stars.
Well, my favorite brand is Garden of Eden. It is a brand that produces there's just nutritional probiotics, things like that, coconut oil, oils that you need, essential oils. There's just tons and tons of products. So anyway, Dear Garden of Life, I found you at Swanson Vitamins 2 years ago, and because your products are produced in a raw form, I know it is the healthiest way for me to consume these nutrients. I love your products. I use them every day. I use them even in my baking as well.
Dear Lululemon, I met you when I was in high school, seeing all my friends wear your great looking clothes and leggings. And then, once I got to try a pair, I became addicted to your brand. The leggings, the sports bras, and everything else you make, I'm obsessed. I have to have all of your products. I introduced you to my friends and family by wearing my your clothes and telling them how much I loved your clothes. Sincerely,
Dear Dr. Teal, it was so wonderful finding you in the Walmart on the bottom shelf when I was shopping for some bath products. I knew I would love these bath products from the scent of them and the titles that you have and the fragrances and the ingredients that you include in them. And I tell all of my family and friends, if you want a great bath, you should try Dr. Teal's, especially his Epsom salt. And that eucalyptus scent, that is my favorite. Dr. Teal, thank you so much for making these bath products. I love to soak and smell the scent of them as I...
Happy Valentine's Day, Apple. We've known each other back since 2012, back when me and Samsung was having some hard times, and when I never understood Samsung because it wasn't pretty self-explanatory the way you were. And I knew I had to have you, so I walked into an Apple store, and the minute I walked in, I was filled with so much colors of different gadgets that you own, and I was so fond by it. So I decided to treat myself to my first Apple phone, which was an iPhone 6 Gold, and I went home and showed my friends and family my new phone, the color it was, and how smart you was. We've came a long way, and for that I thank you, and I appreciate you in my life each and every day.
This is a love letter I wrote to McDonald's. Dear McDonald's, thank you for always being there for me. From hosting my first grade birthday party to this very day, you have always been a very faithful friend. In our relationship, though tinged with nostalgia has grown up with me, there's never been a problem that your perfectly crisp fries couldn't make a little better. Your chicken McNuggets and Oreo McFlurries still taste like a childhood reward for my good behavior. You have never judged my questionable late-night university antics. Instead, you gently nudged me toward a junior chicken meal and an apple pie. Thank you for this Valentine's Day. Love, Demille.
Nike. I met Nike when I was around 2-3 years old. You're my favorite brand, and I wear everything. I have, when it goes from clothes to shoes to accessories, it's just like Nike is just the best. I introduced Nike to my family around 10. My pops used to tell me all the time, like, you shouldn't get that, you should wear something cheaper, but I just recommended it to him and he just started wearing it. Thank you. Love you so much. I appreciate your business.
So, dear 7th generation, I'm writing to you to tell you how much I love your brand and your products. I first met you probably 15 years ago when I lived in Little Rock, and I loved how much you care about the planet and how you have all those eco-friendly products. I was introduced to you by my friend David a really, really long time ago, and I still use a lot of your products to this day.
My favorite brand is American Eagle, and it was, Dear American Eagle, I am totally in love with you. I love your pants. I love the way you fit. I just love everything about you. And I knew that I was in love with the brand as soon as I tried you on, because you were just such a perfect fit and you just made my day. I loved how stretchy you were and that I could just move whenever I wore you, and it just made me want to wear you all the time, and every day I could even sleep in them. They're that comfortable. They were so comfortable, and I just love to wear them anytime I can and whenever I can. The way I'd introduce them to my friends is that they are just the most amazing comfort feeling pants ever. You can bend down, you can stretch, you can actually do gymnastics, you can do dance in them, wherever. I highly recommend them.
Dear Victoria's Secret Pink, I fell in love with your brand about 15 years ago. I met you in a mall. I knew I loved the brand right away because of the clothes. I introduced the brand to family and friends with wearing pink and Victoria's Secret clothing and merchandise all the time. Love, Jessica.
My favorite Valentine Day brand is God Diva Chocolate. My letter to God Diva is, God Diva Chocolate, I met you back in 2005 in North Carolina. Once I tasted your sweet chocolate gift box, I knew you were my favorite chocolate. I received you on Valentine's Day from my wonderful husband. I told my mom and my dad and my best friend the chocolate box that I got for Valentine's Day. The Godiva chocolate. Godiva chocolate. I told them how sweet and the different flavors that you gave me made me so happy. And I'm so happy I had a chance to meet you. Thank you.
I would say my favorite brand for Valentine's Day is going to be Outback because they're going to make my Valentine's Day meal, which I hope is steak and lobster. And someone in my family will pick it up and I'll be able to eat it at home. It's the closest thing to going to a restaurant on Valentine's Day that I have during COVID. I met Outback Steakhouse quite a few years ago when my children were little, and I went there the first time. I just really loved the food and the service, and I knew I loved the brand because I always wanted to go back.
Dear Amazon, I just wanted to let you know how I feel. We met in 2014 and it was love at first sight. I knew I loved your brand from the moment that I realized all of the different items that I could buy from your store. Like, you literally offer products in every single category. There's just such a diverse category of products. So anything that I need, whether it comes to beauty, health, toys, clothing, you have it. I've definitely recommended you to my friends and family because I want them to be able to share the enjoyment and experiences that I get from shopping with your brand.
Nike, oh Nike. We met sometime in my middle school days. I wanted comfort and style, and you delivered it. It was at Ross, so cheap yet so great. When I first felt your fabric, I knew this was it. I came home with you in my hands and said to my friends and family, this is my new favorite shirt.
For my love of clinical strength deodorant. We met about 20 years ago when I was young and a teenager and needed protection, extra protection. Couldn't find anything else that worked. Then you came along and you were the love of my life. I have introduced you to millions of people and my family. My daughter also uses you. It's been a long, long affair, and I've loved every moment of it.
So one of my favorite brands is Queen Helen. I knew that I loved the brand when I put it on my skin and it was moisturizing. I met with the brand when I was a little girl because it's a cheap product, so my mom often relied on the product because it's cheap, it's economical, and it actually won't break your bank. And how I knew I loved the brand is it actually works, and again, it's cheap. I didn't introduce it to my family because my family has already known about it, but I tell a lot of people if they're trying to look for a good cheap lotion, look for Queen Helen. So yeah.
Dear Amazon, we met when I was in high school. I was looking for name belts and Chinese slippers. I knew I loved you when the Chinese slippers were unfulfilled and you delivered all 20 pairs. My family and friends love you. You always keep your word, and we have the best recycling. Love, Vanita.
This is a love letter to my favorite brand, Pepsi. We met when I was little and a family member was drinking you, and I asked for a swallow. It was love at first taste. The strong flavor, the energy it gave me, It just made me fall even more and more in love with it, and that's been about 30 years now that I've been drinking Pepsi. How I introduced it to my friends and family was the same way that I was introduced to it. Can I have a swallow? Sure, take you a sip, see what you think. And now, of course, my kids keep constantly taking my Pepsi to drink. So I love you, Pepsi. Thank you for the many years of happiness you have brought me.
To my dearest Glossier on Valentine's Day, I just want to say that I really love you. You are just always there for me. You ship so quickly. You come with little gifts for me. You always think about me. You give me a little sample, a sticker, little reusable pouch. It's just so thoughtful. I feel like you're just always thinking about me and how to make my day a little better, a little brighter, my skin a little better, a little brighter. And I knew I loved you from the moment I used you. And I feel so bad saying that I used you, because you know it's not like that. You get me. And I was really nervous to tell my friends about you, but I think they get you too. And just thank you for all that you do. You're not just for your looks, there's a lot of substance there, a lot of quality. Thank you.
We met about 3 or 4 years ago at the mall. I just started trying the product. I bought something, and that was clothing. Loved it. So everyone else liked the style. They liked the shirt, the pants, and I told everybody how comfortable the pants were, how comfortable the shirt was, how well they washed, and everything like that. And word of mouth really worked. I absolutely love American Eagle. It's my favorite.
Dear Apple, we first met in October 2015 when I got my first iPhone. Our relationship was completely foreign to me. I'd never met a device or brand like you before. I soon became dependent on your consistency and dependability. Within a few short months, I was totally in love with you. I knew you would be the brand for me forever. When I introduce you to my friends and family, I say, this is my true love. You're going to fall in love with Apple too.
Dear Carhartt, when I met you on a winter's evening some 7 years ago now, I knew at first sight I loved you. I loved you because you kept me warm like I kept you warm all those winter nights in the cold, shoveling snow. I introduced you to my family shortly afterward in the form of beanies, long sleeves, and jackets, and I hope our love will flourish and blossom.
This is a love letter that I wrote to Hughes Chocolate, H-U, there's apostrophe S, chocolate. Okay. Dear Hughes Chocolate, you and I met a long time ago. Ever since then, I've been on your tail, chasing you everywhere you are. When you're on sale, I like to buy from you. And I know I'll always be there as long as you are. Please never leave. Always make yourself available like you always have. Sincerely, Jennifer. The love of your life, of your shelf life, since 2018.
Dear Adidas, I met you on the basketball courts of Puerto Rico, and I fell in love with you the day I saw you on Run DMC's shoes and Crush Groove. And let me read this part. How I introduced it to my friends and family as I showed them that movie and showed them breakdancing and hip-hop culture, and how I started from Adidas shell toes. That's how I love you, Adidas.
Dear Amazon, I really appreciate you, especially during this time when it's not so easy for everyone. You are always there for me, and you always come through for me when I need anything. You make life a lot more convenient. I appreciate everything that you do. There are times when I knew that I was wrong, and you still apologized. You always think of me first. That's not something I can say about every brand. I often talk about you to family and friends. I say that you have really changed my life. And I don't think anybody could replace you. So thank you for being somebody who cares about me. I genuinely feel cares about me. And I think that we're going to have a long relationship from this day on.
My dear Asics shoes, I met you 1 year ago when I had a severe pain in my foot and my legs and my knees and my butt really hurt. My doctor suggested to get this brand of shoes, and then when I started wearing you, I fall in love with you, and I knew that I love it because I could not walk a single step without it. It was a must for me. And then I told all my family members and friends, and whenever you have this kind of pain or anything, Asics is the best thing you have to have, and also Bionic, but I haven't even tried Bionic, but right now Asics is my only lover. I really love you, Asics. Mwah. Stay safe and healthy.
Dear Starbucks, I first met you about 12 years ago when I was traveling for work. The stores hadn't quite reached our area, so it was something new to me. I tried it, and the first sip, I knew it was a higher quality, better taste, and just something that I enjoyed a lot more. So spending time with you was something that I craved to do, and became loyal to do. And I introduced my friends when the store started to open up in our area. I brought them along, showed them what you had to offer, and recommended our personal favorites. So in the end, you and I have had a great relationship this past decade plus, and looking forward to continuing.
Dear Pure Synergy, we have been together for 9 years. That's how long I've adored you and stayed by your side. I stumbled across you with an online search. I knew you were the one for me when I found your multivitamin, and it made me feel so good. I have told family about you, but I'm the one who adores you the most always. Love.
Thanks everyone for watching. Did your brand get a love letter? If not, just reach out and we can help you get feedback from your happy customers.